Hi you guys, what's up? I hope everyone's doing really well and you guys are spending your quarantine well. It's been, I think, 10 days almost. 10 days since I uploaded the last video. And meanwhile, I was just, as I told you in the last video as well, I was like planning for the content as to what to post and what should be the agenda of this video. And again there I was. Whenever I plan something, it never ever goes by my plans. So then again today it was the same scenario. I just sat down and I was like, okay, I have a good mind, I can shoot. My state of mind is absolutely given me the sense of comfort that okay, go ahead and shoot. Because that's the whole point about content. If you don't feel like shooting, if you don't feel like creating the content, then just don't do it on that particular day, because it's better not to end up spoiling the content. So anyway, getting on to the video, there are a few things today that we'll be taking up because I believe that this is the need of the hour right now, and I have been getting requests on this. So I've kind of made my notes on this so that I don't forget or miss out any points, because each one of them carries its own importance. So I'm looking forward to kind of touch all those points which are like the need of the hour as of now in the whole quarantine period. Okay, so I'll just like give you a quick brief. It's gonna be firstly about your diet, which most of you guys wrote out to me, and I understood the fact that it's difficult to, in this quarantine, it's difficult to actually manage yourselves, because for obvious reasons, you're not going out anywhere, you're just at home, and you're so bored that you end up going ahead with emotional eating. Yes, it is a term. So it's gonna be about that, your diet, then the stress factor, then the skin that is being affected because of the stress that you're taking these days, and the last thing, which is not at the last in priority, that is our mental health. So I believe these are a few of the things which are to be taken into consideration. I've made my notes around it, so let's just begin. Okay, all right. So, and it's going to be a little longer video than the last time, so if you don't want to watch the video, you can just skip it right away. Okay, not a problem. But I've told you the sequence in which I'll go, so you can just skip it to the sequence which you want to watch. Okay, so the first thing we start off with is your diet. So guys, I understand it's difficult to manage your diet in this quarantine, because our mental level as of now is linked directly with emotions, emotional eating. So we tend to hog on food unusually, like which we would not do otherwise on a day-to-day, on a daily routine. Like let's say we are either busy with office, or maybe we are going to college. Again, I'm fumbling, so just excuse me on fumbling. I cannot really get rid of that. Anyway, so getting to the point, emotional eating has been one of the reasons why people have gained weight in the times that it is one of the important factors in weight gain. Now, emotional eating could be eating out of stress, eating out of anger, eating out of happiness, and so on. It's just directly linked to your emotions. Okay, it becomes a kind of a getaway for people, because whenever you eat something, and you eat junk especially, why is it so addictive? Because you eat junk, you eat things which are sweet, they release a hormone inside your brain, and that gives you a sense of happiness. So that is why it becomes a getaway. And once you're in the pattern, once you've gotten into the habit of that getaway, then it becomes a pattern. Then you want to switch to this, you want to reach out to this getaway every single time when you are undergoing any kind of emotional up and down in your head. So and because of late, because of the quarantine, the joints are all closed. We cannot really go out, which otherwise would have been our getaway, going out, having a cup of coffee, or having dinner or anything outside. So because we don't have too many options right now, so the only thing that we have at our disposal is phones, digital platforms where we can just go ahead, we can just watch, we can get our own getaways, and so many thoughts running across our mind as to what's going to happen next, whether I'll have my job, whether I'll be fired. Let's look at it with a practical approach. There are many people who have this fear in their mind that maybe because the lockdown has stretched too far, and not in every office is there a facility to work from home, so the jobs are also at risk. That's the reason there's a lot of stress built up inside a person's mind. So yeah, now this is about emotional eating, where you switch to eating as a getaway under the influence of your emotions. How do you control that? I'll tell you one simple thing. Nobody can control you, okay, but you yourself. I am not talking about determination. I'm not talking about making up your mind. I'm just talking about being aware of the state that you're in. Not just the physical state, but also the mental state. You ask yourself, why are you switching to this? When you become aware of a certain state in your mind, when you become aware of a certain, certain situation in your mind, that is when you start accepting it. And I'm telling you, acceptance is the key. Acceptance to anything helps you outgrow that, and that is the key. Whether it's stress, whether it's depression, whether it's a long-term illness, also a chronic illness also, most of the time what we do is we end up spending a whole life in denial. That okay, no, it cannot happen to me, or this is not what I'm in. Most of the people who are suffering depression also feel that no, I mean, like, I'm not in depression, it's just a casual sadness, a casual state of mind. That is where you guys are in denial. Denial is the main reason for anything, for whether you're unhealthy, you are under stress, you're under depression. Denial is the main thing where you go wrong. So acceptance, which is the opposite of denial, is what is important. Once you have accepted that state, that situation, that is when you outgrow that. Okay, so let me talk about here with an example. Let's say let me talk about breakups. When you are in a relationship, it's been quite some time and you've invested yourself emotionally into that, and things couldn't just work out and you guys end up breaking up. Now what happens? There will be one person who moves on, or maybe because each person is different, okay, they have different ways of getting over it. So there'll be one person who will just move on, not that he's or she is not hurt, but just that it's their own way of getting over things that has been troubling them for quite some time. The other person would be of the sort who will keep sulking, who will be in that state of mind for a very, very, very long time. Why? Because that person remains in denial for a very long time that this breakup has not even happened. Like, how could this happen to me? So that denial is extremely torturous. Like, that denial is, it's poisonous. If you are in denial for half the time of it, you are actually marring yourself and doing nothing else. You're not accepting it in that point of time. See, what happens is when you accept something, you start to realize that, okay, I am in this phase, and you start to realize that, okay, if this is what is happening to me, then this should be my reaction to it in a particular situation. So what happens is, an assessment, an acceptance, a realization happens within yourself, and that is when you can decide your reaction to it. If you're in denial, a constant denial, you can't really, have access to a solution. You can't really think of that. And let me tell you upfront and honestly, nobody in this world, nobody can take you out from that state but you yourself. Only if you want to get out of it, you can get out of it. Friends, family, your close ones can support you, can be there for you morally, but they can't just, pick you up and take you out of that. No, that's not going to happen in any situation. Whether it's stress, depression, emotional eating, breakups, anything, you cannot get out of it. Not just for today, take this in writing. I can bet anything on this. You cannot take yourself out unless you yourself want to come out. And there will be questions on me when I say this, that unless you yourself want to come out. People will say that, okay, we do want to come out, but we don't know how to. We are struggling. No, I'll tell you what, go inside a few, introspect, try and analyze. You guys, I'll tell you what happens when a person is undergoing such a situation. They there is a feeling, okay, they develop a comfort zone around it. It's a little impractical to people who've not been through this, but I'm sure people who have gone through this can relate to this extremely well. In any situation where you are going through a certain feeling, you develop a comfort zone around it for yourself. You want to get out of it, but not on your own. You want somebody to just come and pick you up and do it for you, because it's very tiring. It gets tiring to the immediate sensation is that it gets tiring to even make efforts to get out of it, and that is what I call you develop a comfort zone around it. Okay, so this video was mainly focused towards mental health, and why most important in this point of time, because in the period of quarantine we don't have much getaways. It's either internet or food, or people who are living at home, their family, and most of them are not living at home. They're still at the places where they're working from, away from home. So that's the reason it was important. So I want you guys to understand that to get out of a situation, whether it's a breakup, a loss of someone close to you, or stress, emotional eating, anything, any kind of feeling that that will be impacting you negatively, you need to, first thing is, you need to get out of denial. You need to accept that feeling. That is when the realization comes that, okay, I am into a certain kind of feeling, and to get out of this, I will need to accept this feeling, accept this state, accept this situation. That is when I will logically be able to decide my reaction to this feeling, or reaction to the state or situation. Okay, so yeah guys, this was really important. And why I'm discussing this with you guys, because I have myself been into it. I have tried everything possible to get out of it, but with assessment, with the experience, I realized that unless you live that phase, unless you accept it, you cannot really get out of it. So this is for all you guys out there who are going through a tough time, or maybe who have been through a tough time. This is for all you guys. Yeah, so I hope you guys can relate to it. You guys can reach out to me. I'll mention my email ID in the description box. You can write down to me, anyone who's going through any of the mishaps or anything that you feel, where I can help you guys. So please do write down to me, and do mention in the comments what would you like to see next. However, this video will be a series. Okay, so as I told you, first is mental health, then will come the skin, everything around it. Then I'll be going ahead with a video on your diet management. So a lot of things coming up. This will be a whole series of videos. So today we have spoken about mental health. I'd like to tell you guys that I'll appreciate any feedback that I get. Also, do write to me. Again, I'm repeating, do write to me. And this mental health will continue for the next one video at least, and after that we'll move on to the other series. So yes guys, it's been a little heavy today, but it was important at times that it is good to talk about these things, because generally people reach out to mediums like social media, then these channels where they can resort to help, because at times it happens that people around you, they don't really relate to you as to what you're saying. They are there for you, they can help you out, they can be a moral support to you, but they can't really relate to you. So yeah, this video was for all those people. I hope you guys like the video, and if you do, please give a thumbs up. Please do subscribe to the channel, and share, comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah, the same cliche lines. Okay guys, I'll see you next time. Have a very good night, and the weather is awesome today. So see you next time. Bye bye. Take care.